Well, hello, sixth graders. On Tuesday, when we were trying to get our Google Sites set up, it seemed a little bit hard for some of you because one, you couldn't see my screen because we were having a problem with video and all that. So I had a different idea, is that I will actually do a pre-recorded video of all the steps that you need to do today. And then when we're on with Google Meet, you will work on this video and actually work on your Google website for your Saint. And then if you have questions, you can ask me in that moment because we'll be together in a class. And I'll explain that more when we are in class together. So I'm going to start sharing my screen so you can see what it looks like to do a Google website. And we already got ours started last time. So the first step that we're going to actually do is we are going to go and look at how to get to our website. So the first step that you need to do is you need to actually go to your Google Drive. So hopefully you know where that button is, down maybe on your shelf down at the bottom, or you know how to open a new tab with a plus right up by your browser and type in drive.google.com. But I hope you know how to get there. So drive.google.com, and you see it right here on mine is what you are typing, okay? Once you're at your Drive, the quickest way to get to something that we just worked on a couple days ago is to go to Recent. So over on the right side here, it says Priority, My Drive, Shared with Me, and Recent. And it should be somewhere, probably not today if you've been doing stuff today so far. You might have to scroll down a little. Now, Miss Pieper's been doing tons of things the last few days, like so much so that when we met was actually like way down here. Anyway, so look for the one that's the title of your Saint, okay? Whatever we named it last time. There's a few of you that were not with us last time, so you're going to start this a slightly different way, and I'm just going to have to talk to you about that, how that's going to go, okay? So right here is my St. Jerome site that I had. I'm going to double click it, and that will pop open another tab for us where we're going to start working on our Google Sites. So the first thing that we're going to do is I'm loading and getting open here is we're going to actually set up our pages. If you go to any website, you have different pages that you go to for different information. So like for our church page, we have one that's called School. And we can find everything out about school. We have one that's called Discipleship. So adults and youth can look at discipleship. We have one that's called Prayer. So different ways that we pray with our church. So we're going to set that up to begin with. So we kind of saw this last Tuesday when we were working on stuff. Don't worry too much about the design of the page yet. We want to get everything set up first, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is over here on the right side of your screen, there's three major kind of areas we'll be dealing with. So one is insert, and this is where we'll start adding things to our page. But right now we want to go to pages, okay? So go over to the side and click on pages. As you can see on mine, it will be the same on yours. There's nothing there except for the home page, and that's the page that we're currently looking at. So what we need to do, just like the Google world, there's usually a plus somewhere on the page. Our plus is down in the bottom right, right down that same column. So we're going to click and we're going to add a page or a new link. We want to add a page. Like if I wanted to link all the way to our school or church website, we could actually do that, but we want to actually add a new page. So there's our new page. A little box is going to pop up just like you see it, and we're going to type specific things. So all of us are going to do the same thing. So this page is going to be called Life, okay? And probably not light. How about we try Life? So it's going to be called Life, and this is going to be where we're going to be putting the childhood, adulthood, things like that. So Life also would be the canonization, things like that, okay? So we're going to hit done. And then you're going to notice up at the top here, we have a button that says Home and a button that says Life. The home page was that first one we were on, but we still have to title. And then now if we click on Life up here, we have the word Life, okay? And maybe we're going to add something later to that, but we'll start with that to begin with. Now we need to go add another page. So we're going to go over and make sure we're on pages, down to the bottom with the plus, new page. And this time we're going to call this one Faith, okay? So this is going to be where we share the faith stories that they had, not that we're known for. That's going to go on the home page, what they're known for. But faith experiences, maybe this is where we can add the prayers that they've done, the quotes that are specific to them. So we're going to do faith on this one. Okay. Now we have another button at the top. We're going to do a third page. I guess it's our fourth page by now. We're going to call this media. So at this page, this is where we're going to put maybe some videos. We can actually find some YouTube videos, kid videos from Catholic.org. This is where we can actually add videos. We can actually even go out to Amazon and see if there's any books where they can read about the saint, or maybe there's a famous book that your saint wrote. This is where we can link everything, and we'll learn that on a future video, okay? So we're going to call this media, and who knows, maybe there's even a song out there that is sung by your saint, or sung to your saint, about your saint. You could even put some music on here too. There's a lot of fun different things. So this is going to be our media page, okay? We're going to hit done there. And then we need one more page. This is going to be called our resources page. So we haven't done this yet, but one of our future classes, we're going to be learning how to do MLA, which is how we write our books. And I know you've been learning this or have learned this with Mrs. Hartnett. And actually the piece of paper that you've learned that with Mrs. Hartnett is something that I literally created when I was teaching kids how to write their bibliography or their book resources. So that's where we're going to do a whole list of the books that you got information from that packet that I gave you, and any of the websites that you got information from, okay? So those are going to be our tabs, and then all of our questions that we've already done are going to filter under some of these tabs, okay? So what we're going to go back to now is we're going to actually click on our home page. So you can either click over here and you can go to the different pages. One thing we can do, if you typed it in the wrong order, it should say home, life, faith, media, resources. Let's say you got out of order. So now faith isn't where it belongs. So I can grab that word and just slide it down to where it needs to go. So I can actually reorder them, and you can see up at the top of my screen here that they actually are reordered. So let's say that I had life down at the bottom by accident. It says home, faith, media, resources, and life. I don't want life last, so I'm just going to click it and slide it back up. So if you're ever designing your own web page and you're not quite sure the order you want your pages in, no problem. You can just put them in order later, okay? So at this point, we are going to go on. Now, there's some things that you actually could do, that you can actually do a page under a page. So this is actually with the 3 little dots, it's called a subpage. So if like I was designing our church website on this actual Google Sites, I could actually add a subpage. So I could call this, let's see, miracles. And maybe these are the miracles about her faith. Now notice up at the top here, it now actually has a little drop down where it says miracles, and I have a whole nother page, or I can go up to the faith page and you can see how it's nestled over here under the side. But let's say, oh, whoops, I didn't want miracles under faith. I could actually move it under life, and I could actually move it around and get it under where it needs to go. So I'm going to get rid of that one because we don't need it. So I can click on the 3 dots and delete it. So in the world of Google, I think we've already discovered this, that when you see 3 dots, that means there's more actions that you can do, okay? So you'll notice that if I hit the 3 dots next to either one, I can make it the home page, I can duplicate the page, properties, add subpage, hide from navigation, where in that case, it's not up on there for people to see, but you still have the page like maybe waiting in the wings and you're gonna put it out public at some point. I actually do that sometimes with our church website. So like when Holy Smoke, our fall festival is going on, I actually hide that page until a month before, then I put it back up with all the new events and stuff. So there's different ways that you can have a whole page ready and put it up when you need it and take it down when you need. So some cool stuff with web pages. Okay, so we have our pages ready to go. The next thing that I think you're going to have a lot of fun with is themes, okay? Again, we're not even worried about putting anything on our page yet. Let's start just designing it, okay? So we're going to go over to themes. So again, insert page themes. So Google has some preset themes. They actually have 5 preset themes that you guys can use. So just kind of the next few minutes, you get to play around with them and kind of see the different designs that you like, okay? And once you've done this theme, then it kind of trickles out to everything and it affects everything in your page, okay? So like when I was designing the web page for St. Pat's this summer, I had to come up with my own theme. Colors and designs and what's the shape of the boxes and where do I put pictures with text. With the Google Sites, it actually helps you with all of that kind of stuff. So I can go right now, this is on simple, but we can actually change the color that you want. So with simple, you can see kind of the font that's over here and you can maybe do a different tinge of color. So there's 5 that are there, but you can even hit the little paint bucket on the side and you can actually go and choose whatever color you want. So let's say you're doing one of our saints that brown was her main color or his main color. You could actually change it to kind of be the colors here. So purple, I can grab that. Let's see what it has. So down here, this is in the red spectrum. I can scooch this guy here. Let's say I want the yellow spectrum. So right below here, see where my mouse is? Let's say I want more green. So down here is where you get your whole shades. And then up here is where you can get your different variations of it. So you can do a lot of different fun stuff. So let's say, St. Jerome was known, his color is a lot is red. So I'm gonna go over to the red again. And I want more of my red versus more of a brown, okay? Now, in addition to that, so I'm done with that part of it. And that's the one I wanna choose. Okay, now font style. So you have light, classic, or heavy. So these are the ones that are already set, and then your fonts are going to filter all the way through your pages for your text, for your titles, for all those areas. So go ahead and just see what you like. And maybe I wouldn't play with your colors too much until you decide what of the themes, because remember there's 5 themes, but then inside of those 5 themes, simple, Aristotle, Diplomat, Vision, Level, and Impression. I guess there's 6 themes. You can start playing with the font a little bit, not too wild. It doesn't allow you to do too much. So let's see what Aristotle looks like. Don't worry about the picture in the background. We're going to be changing that picture, okay? But notice how this one now has a color and a line underneath that, okay? And again, we have different styles as far as fonts, and it looks like they're pretty basic. But let's say I want to change my color. Okay, that changes kind of the line below it, doesn't do too much for the actual colors there. So again, we can change just, in this case, it's pretty much just the line that's below it, okay? So if I want to do Aristotle, well, let's go and see what Diplomat looks like. So you guys go and kind of play around with the different designs and what you like and what your colors are. So I'd say probably take about 5-10 minutes tops to see which of these designs you like. Now, again, please do not look at the picture that's behind. We will be finding our own pictures and putting those into the boxes, okay? That's gonna be more of actually a future date probably. So again, go through the different ones. Which ones do you like? Play around with the design, with the font, with the color. Again, sometimes the back doesn't really, let you to do a lot of the color stuff. So go choose your theme. And at this point, you can actually just pause the video, okay? Because you can get it all set up and maybe 10 minutes from now, 5 minutes from now, 3 minutes from now, you're ready to go on and you can actually then go on to the next step. So this is the beauty about doing the videos this way, is that you can pause it and kind of go at your own speed. So at this point, go ahead and hit the space bar because you're on YouTube right now watching this video, and that will pause the video until you are ready, okay? So at this point, you should have already chosen your theme, chosen your colors, what you want. So I'm going to go back just to the simple and choose that kind of green color that I wanted. And let's see, I think I like, well, maybe start with the light to begin with, but we'll go for that, okay? Now, at this point, I am going to start showing you how we can start inserting different images and stuff. So the first thing we're going to start playing with is the top of the, what's called the header or the banner at the top, okay? So right now I'm going to start with the home banner. And down here, you're going to notice when you go over to the different places, clicking on here, you can see that your page title. we are going to click in this and we are going to type the name of your saint. Saint, and I'm doing Jerome. You're going to type the name of your saint, okay? Now, you do get to play a little bit more with kind of the boldness of your titles or your headings. So there's kind of like set thicknesses to say this is a heading, this is a text, this is a subtext. So in this case, we want this to be the biggest we can make it, which is title. If you look at the drop down, I had normal text, title, heading, subheading, and small. We'll use those for different purposes, but this obviously is a title, okay? And yes, I can make it bold, but here's the deal, you gotta first highlight it, okay? So I actually hadn't highlighted it and it didn't change anything. So let's say I wanna make it in italics. Doesn't do anything unless I have it highlighted. Here's a little quick shortcut. Get your cursor blinking on your words. So right now it's blinking, I'm in the middle, and sometimes it's hard to get at the front and the back and highlight properly. If you get your blinker cursor blinking in it, you can do a control button on your keyboard and A at the same time, and see how it grabbed everything. It's just a really quick way to do this. So I don't want it bold, but maybe want it italics. We'll see. Now, if I didn't want that box anymore, I could just delete it. But oh no, maybe I didn't want to delete it. Here's the shortcut. Control Z, as in zebra, undoes it. So I'm going to do it again by accident. I didn't want to do that. Now be careful, because if it gets saved too long, it sometimes doesn't undo it. So Control Z undoes the mistake you did. Now there's a few other things that we can do here. Insert link, we can center our text different directions. Maybe you want it more to the left. It's a title, so I like it to the middle, okay? So here's the options that we can start doing. So I want you to notice at the top of any box or the side of any box that we're about to add, there are what are 10 dots. Remember how I said there's the 3 dots that give you more options? When you see a 10 dot, that means you can actually grab it and move it. So notice what happens to my cursor when I'm on my font versus if I go right up here. Notice how my cursor went from being a cursor to being a 4 moving arrow. Okay, so now when it's a 4 moving arrow like you see on my screen, I can grab it and move it. Now the way that Google Sites works is everything's kind of in grids, and you can move boxes kind of across or down into grids. So if you look really closely at the screen, it's kind of hard to see, you're actually going to see some lines going across. So let's say I want the title way over there. Now this might be helpful later when we go to find a picture that you want to put in. And let's say that I find a picture of St. Jerome that's kind of, he's like leaning back and he's over on that side that's with my Home Life Faith Media Resources. Maybe why I want to put then the title over to the side so it's not on top of him and maybe in the background. So that's how you can actually move stuff around, up and down across kind of your spaces, okay? So right now I'm just going to leave it in the middle, but that's the way you can do it. Now, some other things, that was just the title we talked about. So some other things for our banner up in the top here, okay? So right here we can change the image. We'll deal with that in a second. Or we can tell the type of header we want. So if I click on header type, I actually have these options. Title only, pretty boring, okay? So I probably don't want title only. Banner was the area we were just in. You kind of see how big it is, but if I click on large banner, that's a much bigger space. So maybe my home page, this is the home page, maybe I want a bigger banner as people are coming to my home page for the first time, versus if I'm over on Life, maybe I want that smaller, okay? So we can go back to home and you can change that for every page, what you want, okay? You can change the image, all that kind of stuff. So at this point, the other one that you have can do too is cover, which is pretty much you land at that first page and all you see is a picture. So maybe that's what I want. I don't know. You get to decide. Now, maybe that depends on the picture that you find. Sometimes we can play with the picture to get it nice and neat, but sometimes if it's more like that kind of picture, maybe we do cover for it, okay? So right now, I think I'm just going to do a large banner, okay? And now when I'm done, I can kind of collapse it. So let's go find an image, okay? So I'm going to go to change image, and I have a couple that I can do. If I've already found an image, I can go to upload. Sometimes that's going to work. And if you're really finding a picture you love, but it's just not fitting properly. I'm going to actually show you guys in a quick video by itself at another time how you can actually use Google Draw and get your picture to the size that you want it. But right now, I'm just going to go to select image. Okay, so I'm going to go and select image, and now I can hit my gallery. Not what we're going to do. I don't think any of these pictures are going to be appropriate for our saint. Even if we scroll down, I mean, yeah, I suppose you can have just a general background, but that really doesn't say enough about your saint. So if we had found a picture, we can paste the image right in, or we can search, okay, through Google or our albums that we've already found. So these are actually pictures that I have used in the past that I've already created that I have up here, or if I have something already in my Google Drive, okay? So things that I have already created. Let's go back to the search, okay? So let's type in St. Jerome and see what comes up. Okay, so these are the pictures that are already out there. Now, some of them, you know, if you really paid attention to that title banner, it's more skinny than wide, unless you go to the cover one. So if I choose this one right here, I might need to do the cover, okay? Otherwise, it might get squished. So let's see what my options are. And I want us just to kind of scroll down, because I'm going to teach you something here, okay? I want you to look at the pictures that are here. And we're going to go over and we're going to actually go and open up a new tab right now. And I'm actually going to go to images.google.com, or you might know how to get there many other ways. I actually have a little button that I have bookmarked that I can click on, but we're at Google Images. We see where it says Google Images right in the middle there. Now I'm going to type in St. Jerome this place. So you're going to notice many different pictures here than what we saw over on the search we did. When you do a search through Google Slides or through Google Sites, it really does narrow down your opportunities for pictures. So I don't think on over here, let me click back over. I don't know if I saw a single icon. I didn't see a single icon of St. Jerome. That icon is what we have on the front of our prayer cards. It's called an icon. But if I go over here, look at there's the icon is right there for me. This picture was not definitely the first one, and I can filter a little bit more. So let's say that there was a different picture that I really did want. Let's actually maybe go with, ooh, there's some scary pictures there. Let's see. Ooh, that one's kind of a nice one, but let's go back. Maybe I choose this one, okay? So I'm going to click on this picture, and here it is over to the side here, okay? So again, I selected the picture I wanted, and now I'm going to go on top of the picture with my hand, with my mouse hand, and I'm going to right click, okay? Right click on your Chromebook pad, and notice then when I right click on the picture, I can save the image as, I can copy the image, I can copy the image address. That's what we want, okay? So I'm going to copy the image address, and right now it doesn't look like it did anything, but it actually put it on what's called the clipboard, and the clipboard just sits everywhere on your computer that you can actually put it into any program right now. So I'm going to go back to St. Jerome. And instead of search this time, I'm going to go by URL. When we copied that address, that's the URL. URL stands for Universal Resource Locator. So now that is in its clipboard and it's in memory of the computer. How I get it out of the memory is to paste it. Most of you already know the shortcut, but remember how I said Control A, Control Z, Control V is paste. Okay? And there's the picture. Okay, so once I have it there, I can then select that picture. So, and you see what the problem is now. So because of the picture was more kind of tall, it's cut off St. Jerome's head. Now that's not very helpful, and especially considering he was not beheaded. We have some saints that were actually beheaded when they were killed. Let's see what we can do if I go to change the header type to cover. Wow, that's pretty big and it still did not work. So I have two options right now. One, I can just go find another picture that fits better. And unfortunately, there's not a lot we can do once it's in here. If you're in a different program, you can kind of move it around or crop it down and stuff. We really don't have that opportunity. So you can go find another picture, or if you love this picture and this is the picture that you really, really, really want, just remember what the picture looks like, because what we'll do then on a future class is I'm going to teach you using Google Draw how you can actually crop it down and make your own image the size you want that's going to fit into there. And I'll give you the dimensions and all that. So at this point, I think I'm going to go back to banner and I'm just going to leave it. Okay. So now I can go to life and I can find a whole different picture, and I can go to faith and I can find a whole different picture. So let's do this one more time. So I'm going to go to faith and I'm going to do my header type as large banner. Again, remember how we did this is after we click off of it. So when we're in header, we have to hit the back button or just click off of it. We want to hit the change image, and we can select an image or we can upload. Okay. So we want to, again, select an image. Upload is if you've already saved the image as. If we use this where we actually make our own image on Google Draw, it will be saved on our computer and we'll have to upload it. So at this point, we're going to select image. And again, I can go out and search St. Jerome. And actually, that one picture I kind of liked. This one was kind of cool. And I think I've used that one in the past. Again, not quite sure where it's going to chop it. Where it's going to take it when we go into it. So let's select that. And remember, you have to click on it to select it. Okay. So that's clicked. It's blue. And I'm going to place it in. Let's see. Oh, wow. That's perfect. Now that would happen though if we changed it to banner. That's still pretty good actually. Or cover. Wow. That's a great picture. So you get to decide then what you like. Now, if you find a picture that you absolutely love, I suppose you could keep it for all your titles, but I think it's kind of fun to put the different pictures in here. Now, sometimes it's hard to see our words, like the word faith, on top of a picture. So some of you guys have already noticed this, that down here in the right corner, there's actually like 3 little stars. You can actually click that, sometimes it will change the picture to be lighter or darker. So it can help you to see the word. Now that didn't help me at all. So I'm going to go back to just the word faith that I have there. Okay. Now remember how I said you can move your box around to go different places. So let's actually see if that would look better over there now. Okay, or would it be better on top of him way over here? So you can move that around where you might want to, okay? Personally, I kind of like it's kind of in the middle. Remember, we're moving our 10 dots at the top of our image there, okay? So what I want you guys to do is go and find your pictures for all 5 of our pages, okay? So if you're going to use the same picture, you just got to put it into all of them. I'm going to change this one out. Again, if you're finding a picture that you absolutely love, next week I'll do a quick video that people that want to learn that technique can learn that technique, okay? So at this point, you can pause the video. We're going to learn one more thing today, I think. We'll see, because we've done a lot today already. So we'll see how we do for timing on this, okay? So go ahead and pause the video right now, okay? Okay, 6th graders, so welcome back. You just finished up all of your titles or your boxes at the top there. So at this point, I think we have had a great job today, and consider it's Holy Week, and it probably took us a while to get logged on and to find our things. We're probably been in class for 35, 40 minutes already. So at this point, this is as far as I want you to get this week. One thing I do want to kind of show you that's kind of fun, one last thing before we go today, is I want you to notice in the top corners here where this little guy, this is the undo and the redo. Okay, the undo is the same as a Control Z, or let's say you did Control Z too many times. You could actually go with redo last action where you go forward. Now, this is the fun thing with the preview. Some of you guys have noticed that web pages are designed sometimes that when you're on an iPad tablet or if you're on a phone, that it actually will resize and change it. It's called an active web page. Our St. Patrick's page and our school page has that. So if you're looking on the website on a computer, it's this big with things arranged that way. And if you put it onto your phone, it's kind of squished. So with the preview, you can actually preview what it looks like. So right now it looks like down in the right corner when I clicked on that button, I am currently on large screen. This is what it would look like on an actual computer screen, okay? Over here now is a tablet. So if you're on an iPad or a Kindle, whatever all the different tablets are, this is what it would look like. Or if you're on a phone. That's kind of interesting. Notice how it kind of stretched it, and now I actually see more of St. Jerome's face. Now notice what happened to our pages, what happened to home, life, and all that. When you go onto a phone, you actually have what's called a hamburger menu. Hamburger, we have the bun, we have the meat, we have the bun. So if you notice where it says St. Jerome, right here is what's called the hamburger, or I guess it's called the sidebar here. And then this is where all of our web pages are. So this is how you would actually navigate because you no longer have it in the top right corner. So I'm going to go back to notice there it is. But then when we go to the device, it kind of squishes it and it has that over there. So you can actually navigate through it and kind of see then what your stuff looks like, which is really cool. And if you ever someday are designing your own web page, I actually do that with our St. Patrick's Parish page, where if I have a banner at the top, I want to see like how it's going to look on my web page on my phone, how it's going to look on the computer, because it does change. It even changes when you turn your phone to the side. It resizes it. Now, when you're done looking at the preview, you have your buttons down here in the bottom right. You just hit the X to exit the preview, and we're back at our website. So again, we got that up here by where it says all changes are saved into Drive. So just like Google Docs, it saves it every kind of keystroke versus Google Forms, where some of you guys unfortunately lost some of your information because you closed the tab and it didn't save. So this saves automatically for us. Now, some of you have not done this yet. If you have not done this yet, you need to share this document with me, okay? And we did that a couple ways. So share with others. You're going to hit the plus, and then right here, invite people. You need to invite me. So TPIE, and because we're all part of St. Patrick's School, my name will pop up and you're gonna select it. And I need to be with the pencil, not just, well, can view and publish. I need to be able to edit it, okay? Just in case there's something I need to change, okay? And so you're gonna send that to me. The other thing, I'm not gonna send it to myself, right? Because I already have it. The other thing that you need to do if you have not yet done this, okay? Most of you did this in class with me Tuesday when we were together. I was very proud of you. You guys did a great job. Up here is your website itself, okay? So right here is your address bar. Some of you guys are struggling with knowing where your address bar was last time. So your address bar is underneath all your different tabs, okay? And you can click with your cursor at the back of it, okay? And sometimes it's like a pain to actually highlight the whole thing. Remember, what trick did I teach you? You get your cursor into an area and you do Control-A and it grabs everything. So now I have highlighted everything. Then we're gonna copy it, Control-C. And what you need to do now, I can't even show you this step, unfortunately, because I don't have a student account, I have a teacher account. So when you guys go back out to our to our Google Classroom, you need to go to your 6th grade religion class, and that's where I'm going right now. And you need to open up the assignment. Now I'm gonna actually show you what it looks like on my side, and we'll get to the right place, but then you need to do this yourself. So I'm gonna go under Classworks, Stream Classworks, and we have up here where it's called Saints Google Website. This is where you need to share your website with me. Unfortunately, Google Sites isn't the easiest to share. So you're gonna go to View Assignment. And when you view your assignment, mine looks different as your teacher because I see everyone. So let's see, Dakota, Ted, Megan, great job. Regan, awesome. It looks like Audrey wasn't with us that day. Nathan, I think we need to redo that one. Lane, you need to do this. Anastasia and Molly, I think you need to do this too. So in the top right corner of your screen, when you're in View Materials or View Assignment, you're gonna have a button in the top right corner where it says to add, and you're gonna add a link. And when you add that link, you get to then click with your cursor inside where it says link, and you can type in it, put your cursor in there and Control V, and that will paste it in it. And then you're going to basically attach that for me, just like Dakota did, just like Ted did. And then if you've done that permission, can click onto the website. So let's see, Dakota, I'm going to be picking on you. And let's see if you did the permission so I can actually see your web page. And it looks like I can because it says I can edit it up there. So far, apparently, Dakota, you have St. Dominic, and we didn't get any further than this. So I can see your website and I can check on you and see how you guys are working, okay? So if you haven't done that, you need to do that. So good job. Dakota, you did both steps. You copied the link over there and then you added the permission like you had before. So if you haven't done that, you guys make sure. And I'll maybe go through and check on who I have permission for. So at that point, you guys, this is saved just automatically. You can close the tab. And that is the end of class today. So as you finish this video, please tell me goodbye, that you have gotten through all those directions and you have no questions. And then have a great Easter, a good Holy Triduum, which starts tonight at 7 o'clock. We have Mass live streaming on Facebook. Good Friday at 1 o'clock with Stations of the Cross at 7 o'clock. Easter Vigil at 8 o'clock on Saturday. And then Sunday, we're doing 8:30 streaming. So I'm hoping you guys are joining us for one of those. And actually, you do need to be joining us for one of those because you have your fourth quarter mass reflection that you must do on one of those 4 masses, either live stream or recording later. And I will have already talked to you about that in class when we started our Goal Meet today. If you were not in the Go Meet class and you are looking at this video right now, you need to go out to ClassWorks and you need to be doing your mass reflection for fourth quarter on one of the 4 masses, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. If you don't actually sit down with your family those 4 days, you can watch them later because they are all on our St. Patrick website. At some point, they'll be out there and they'll be up there for forever, not forever, for quite a while, okay? So that is class for today. If you have no questions for me, have a happy and blessed Holy Triduum. I will see you in class on Tuesday next week. Remember, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays now, we're going to be having our Goal Meet. And some of the time, we're just going to be doing this exact same thing where you're going to be watching a video and kind of going at your own pace, and you can stop and start the video, which is awesome, right? A lot better than Miss Peeper, wait, I missed that step, and or my computer was frozen, or I couldn't see it because I had a green screen. So I'm hoping that this is a great medium where you can be with me in class and I can help you with questions by looking at your Go Guardian, or you can just fly along. Some of you guys are so competent with a computer that you just need quick directions and you're ready to go. So I hope this worked really great. Again, when you're done with the video, go tell me goodbye and that you have all your steps done for this week. So take care, you guys.